Hey guys, Bobby FPS here. Welcome back to another video. As you can probably tell, we're not talking firearms. We probably will have something spicy here relatively soon. We're kind of moving up in the world here. We're going to be shooting 300 blackout uppers and having quite a variety of suppressors on the channel that are different and maybe a little bit unique. So waiting for some 300 blackout uppers to kind of come in. So that is to be determined. They're shipping out of Florida with just Hurricane Milton being there, so I have to wait on that. But as you can probably tell in the title, weight loss, my journey of weight loss. So basically, if you've known me or personally actually known me, you would know I've always been a bigger individual, and basically I'll just tell you right now, I've lost 45 pounds. Beginning of February, I was 280 pounds. And now I float between 235 and 239, just depending on the sodium intake I have. So if you want to say my lowest 235, that's 45 pounds. So basically I just wanted to talk about it rather quickly, kind of touch on some points that really helped me and just kind of some habits and mindset that really helped. Obviously, I'm making this video because I'm the same as you. I would watch other people and be like, how do people do this? I've tried for so many years. In high school, the lowest I ever got to, granted I was a little bit smaller than body mass wise, I think the lowest I ever got was 220 and I was at 250. But obviously I gained it back because I just went back to my habits. And then the heaviest, obviously, as I said previously, I was 280, and now I'm at 235, 240, really just depends on the day and just the sodium intake I have. So basically, ultimately, it's just habits and being in control of the food and your not environment, but just what you're ingesting, basically. So I just wanted to kind of touch up on that. So now that I kind of got that all out of the way, I think the biggest key point, and genuinely, guys, if this helps you, like, feel free to subscribe, like, comment down below your weight loss journey. Like, this is all about just helping hopefully someone, because like I said, if any of my friends watch this, they'll probably comment down below saying, you know, you used to be heavy and now, you know, my face looks thinner. And I'll actually include pictures so you guys like believe me, and like just so you guys can see the difference of how much I've changed. My body definitely, like, I guess my chest is not as fatty, and you know, my midsection has definitely shrinked. My arms are a lot tighter now, and then most importantly, I don't know if you can tell, just go back to any of my old YouTube videos, there's not as much water retention here, or just, I guess, fat in my face. Like, you can see my Adam's apple, and it's just not as puffy. So maybe you'll notice that if you're a longtime subscriber of the channel, you'll be like, holy shit, you look different. So that's what's happened. That's kind of why I've, I guess, been AWOL as well for a while, just because I took a step back and I've just been more active and eating a lot cleaner and making better habits and just not being on the computer, and yeah. So ultimately, I guess that's where I've been. Hopefully, if you guys like this, I'll share more, but I didn't want to overstimulate or include too much information and have you guys going like, where do I start? So anyways, if you guys want to see more, comment down below. I'd love to just talk about my journey or just give you guys tips or things I did, and like maybe some of the foods I ate. But anyway, the first thing I can't stress enough, the biggest thing that I took in that really helped change my mindset is you genuinely cannot outwork a shitty diet. So like I said, I am 24, so being still relatively young, I was like, oh, I could eat, you know, I can go to Arby's or I can go to Chick-fil-A and eat, which I did. I would eat 3-4 chicken sandwiches, and then have a fries and go through 5 little packets of Chick-fil-A sauce and a Diet Coke. And right there, that was probably like 25, maybe 3,000 calories just in that sitting, and that'd be my dinner. And so we're getting 3,000 calories for dinner. What about breakfast and lunch, you know? So I'd maybe eat 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm already heavy, like what? So I didn't, I guess, have the respect for myself. So ultimately, you can't outwork a shitty diet. So that's like the biggest thing. I was like, what about if I just start eating cleaner? Every time I put something in my mouth, it was the best thing I could put in to fuel my body. You know, think of it like when I put gas in my car, I put 91. You know, I want the best thing for my car because I want to, it's an investment, so I want to keep it as long as possible. So basically that's what I'm doing to myself. Yes, eating quality proteins and protein bars and higher protein foods is expensive, but investing in yourself is, you can never regret investing in yourself. And I think that was like one huge mindset flip. I was like, instead of eating a Rice Krispie bar, let's say 200 calories, I'd eat a Quest protein bar, let's say 150, but I got 20 grams of protein out of that, or 18, or whatever it is, and it kept me full longer. So just little habits like that. So genuinely, it just starts with making that decision that, if you look down and you have a pretty big midsection, or you don't like the way you look, I would start with that. Clean up your diet. I mean, everyone says it. Like, genuinely, I've been exactly where you've been and been like, how do these guys lose weight? How? Like, that can't be me. Guys, if I can do it, I have the most stubborn fat metabolism that I ever thought was possible, and I did it. So that's point number one. That's the biggest point that I'll give you. Point number two is going to be patience and persistence. I've been tracking my weight since February, whenever I decided to start. And my handwriting is pretty bad, but I will include it in there. But I will show you guys I'll include some of the Snapchats or whatever, pictures of just how much I've tracked, and that weight loss is not always going to be consistent. It's going to plateau. I stayed for a week for I think at 1 week I was staying at 255 or 250, and I was like, oh, and then 8, 9, 10 days later went by, and then I was 247. Let's just say, for example, the video was 250, so 247. So 10 days, my body was just doing its thing, and then 10 days later, I lost those 3 pounds. And so just not changing things too quickly, like let things play out. That used to be my biggest thing, is like, I weigh myself, oh, I gained a pound, gotta change everything. I would revamp everything. All I did was be patient, and I just kept eating my protocol. So I guess that's another thing to kind of figure out, is your daily intake. I subtracted another 500. I did a very aggressive cut, guys. I don't know if I would recommend it, but that's just personally something I did, and I wouldn't say it was hard. It was just a lot of discipline. Genuinely sitting there at lunch, still hungry, but I'm like, hey, I had my 250 grams of beef with 200 grams of rice. That was it until 4 or 5 p.m. And I knew when I ate that, I would have a yogurt, not a Chobani, but it was a higher protein yogurt. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but those are like 20 grams with 110 calories. So I would eat that and rinse and repeat. So I believe my maintenance at 200 and whatever it was, 280 pounds at 6'3", I think my maintenance was 2,700 calories. I was eating, okay, maybe shy of, I started at 2,200, and the lowest I got was 1,800 calories. So I was eating at 1,800 calories for about 6 weeks. And then when I really noticed that plateau, I was like, shit. And so I jumped up 100 calories more, and I was at 1,900 calories. And I really didn't, and then personally for me, my weight still decided to go down a little bit. And then once I got to a happy weight, which was about 235, 236, I started adding calories back in. So I'm at probably close to 22 to 2,300 calories. And now that I'm at a happier weight, personally for myself, I definitely eat probably sometimes at maintenance or a little bit over. But at the next following day, I do a very good job of making sure I eat under. So like, for example, today I had 3 chicken wraps, and that's all I've had, and it's 4:15 at the time of recording. So let's say 700 calories just right there. But yesterday I had a lot more food, so I'm definitely just trying to be mindful of like, hey, yesterday I ate a lot more, but I'll just carry that negative debt or negative calories into today. And let's say I'm at 1,000 calories. So that's just something that works for me, guys, and hopefully this is making sense. I know this is a lot of information, but I want to just tell you where I'm coming from in my mindset. So basically, just to kind of wrap it back up, being patient, persistent is the only way to get there. Granted, I went on a little bit of a harder of a route by just cutting 700 calories from my total calorie, my maintenance. Some people like to slowly trickle down. That's probably like the right protocol to do is like if you're at, let's say, 27 and every week you're just dropping more calories, and then once you get to, let's say, 2,000 calories, you just sit there for 2 to 3 weeks, and then but I just wanted to change my life like this, and I went directly to it, and the first week too, my body really didn't care. It was like, whatever, it's fine. And then as time went on, oh boy, I was very moody. 4 o'clock as I was driving home, I was just pissed. I was hangry. I was just hangry. I wanted to eat. So once I ate, my hormones would kind of come back. So now that's what I'm saying. I'm giving my body time to kind of revamp its hormones and stuff, because I know for sure I was in such a calorie deficit. So also one more thing to kind of mention is still feel free to go have fun, go out with friends, but be mindful, guys. That's the biggest thing I did. If you're gonna go out drinking, skip breakfast and lunch. You know, maybe right before you're gonna go drinking, obviously go have dinner, eat something, but have a higher protein meal, and then go drinking. And like, let's say you have just chicken with rice. Let's say that's 700 calories. You have 1,300 calories of drinking. That's 13 carbless or 13 seltzers or 13 shots of vodka, whatever your drink of choice is. So be mindful. But personally for me, I was like, I would rather eat 1,300 calories than drink 1,300 calories. And that's with anything. I don't really like drinking my calories. I'm drinking a Celsius, 10 calories. So that's something to be really mindful of. All right, guys. I decided after like editing the first half of this video that it's just going to be like too much information. So I'm basically going to decide to do a part 2. I never really like to do that kind of stuff, but I just figured 15 minutes of just me talking would be much easier to just digest and understand, hopefully. And if you guys had questions, I could hopefully answer that in part 2. So yeah, basically just wanted to tell you guys this is where the video will end. If you hopefully learned something or just like the process, you know, it's not going to be easy. Consider subscribing, sharing, liking, and feel free to ask any questions down below. Like I said, I know this is not my typical type of content, but I'm very passionate about fitness, and just I think it correlates very well, especially with firearms. It's just like if you're not fit, you will die, and I like to take that mindset, and just being thinner just makes shooting and everything more enjoyable. So like I said, if you enjoy the video, a little bit different, but I wanted to branch out because I think it's super important, and just investing in yourself and longevity of your health is totally worth it and always worth a discussion. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. Don't claim to be a professional. Hopefully you guys understand that. I was just someone who is always chunky, and to be able to lose that weight and keep it down, most importantly, it's all just about forming those habits. So besides that, thank you guys so much for watching. And if this does well, or if there's a lot of questions, I will definitely release part 2 and work on part 2, in fact. But for right now, I just wanted to kind of leave it for a 16-minute video. So thank you guys so much for watching, if you did, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.